We're living in an AI gold rush, and I found what I believe to be the easiest and most straightforward way to start making money with AI today. In my last video with Justin Brook, I talked about making websites with Replit and selling them to local business owners, but a lot of people had questions about how to set up the website, how to host it on a custom domain, and then how to actually transfer it to the local business owner that you sold it to. So in today's video, I'll be walking through the exact step-by-step process of how you can do this. So if you watch this video to the end, you'll learn how to find local businesses to sell to, how to build the actual website with Replit and then host it on a custom domain, how to reach out to the businesses, and then how to actually go about charging them for the website and building up monthly recurring revenue. Now let's jump into it. So for step one, I have Google pulled up here and we're going to search for the actual business that we're going to create and sell the website to. I just recommend starting with some service business. It could be CPAs, it could be auto mechanics, it could be landscaping. Really just pick any one and then choose an area and just get started. Like you might find your niche, you might find that, CPAs are the best or mechanics are the best, but you just got to start firing out a bunch of shots, see what sticks. Here, I'll start with, let's go with pool cleaners and let's say in Raleigh and see because that's up the road for me. So you want to look for places and then what I like to do is I want to look for ones that don't have a ton of reviews. Now, that's not really required, but especially if they're sponsored means they're probably a little bit more tech savvy if they're running Google ads. So those are probably a no. What I like to do is look for ones that don't have a ton of reviews because it probably means that they haven't put a ton of thought into their website and things like that. Cornerstone Pools, 22 reviews there. Let's see. So this website, although it's not the best, like this is definitely one you could do, but I probably wouldn't spend a ton of time on this because they clearly put in work on this and it's not that bad, right? Like they're not in that much pain that they'd be jumping over the opportunity to get a new website. Let's see Jim's Backyard. So Jim's Backyard, he actually doesn't have a website here. It looks like the .com is for sale for $995. Now, what I want to do here is just because it's not linked to the Google doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't have a website at all. So let's go ahead and just search this. Jim's Backyard Pool Service, Raleigh. Here we go. So it looks like he has Nextdoor, Yellow Pages. Looks like he might have a Facebook here. Nope, that's in Australia. Let's see. Okay, so I don't see... Looks like this is the one. So he does have a Facebook page here. Looks like he's posted at the end of 2024. So it looks like he's probably still in business, but he completely ignores the social media and he doesn't have a website. Unless this is it, Virginia and North Carolina. Okay, you know what? I stand corrected. He does have a website here. It's just covered. I wonder why he doesn't have that. Well, that's okay. On to the next. Let's go back to Raleigh Pool Cleaners. Let's go to page 4 because that's where it gets juicy and sometimes they might be out of business. Saver Pools, Calm Water Pools and Living. Let's go ahead and find their website. Not a great website, but again, like they're not going to have too much pain here. I'm going to skip them. We're going to find one here. David's Pool and Lawn Service. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and search this. Raleigh and see. David's Pool Service on Facebook. His last post was 2020. Looks like he had a business site. Okay, we might be onto something here. Business site, I believe, was owned by Google, and I believe they sunsetted it. But he hasn't posted, so either he's out of business or he's just completely off the map and maybe he has some customers and he's just not growing right now. So let's go ahead and go with David's Pool Services. And before I get started, this is what I would do. It's not clear if he's still in business or not. So to save yourself the trouble of building an entire site and then finding out that they're not even in business anymore and you just wasted all that time, go ahead and grab that number. Then pull up messages, and when I put that in, okay, it's green, but that's okay. It would be better if it was blue because then we know that he has an iPhone, but that's okay. It's a text message. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, hey, David, my name is Nick, and I live a few hours away from you here. And now this is why I like finding businesses kind of close to you, because you can kind of play the whole card of like, hey, I'm a local. I'm not just like some random marketing agency from California or somewhere completely different than you. I think that they like the fact that you're local. I came across your Facebook page today and saw you didn't have a website. I design websites and just made a custom site for your pool cleaning biz. Is it okay if I send it over for you to check out? No strings attached, just looking for feedback. Now I'm gonna change the no strings attached. I'm gonna put the question last. If he just like doesn't look at all of this mess that I sent over, and if he just looks at the end, he just wants to see what my question is. Okay. And that looks good to me. So I'll hit send on this and let's go ahead and get started. So we don't have a ton of info. He doesn't have a logo here. And what I like to do when getting started in prompting Replit is I like to actually just go to ChatGPT and workshop with it for a little bit. So I'm going to say, I'm trying to create a prompt for Replit to build a super simple website for David's Pool Services. Let's see. The service is in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we can give all the info, like the actual phone number and the email and the address, all of that stuff to Replit when we prompt it. But I'm just going to say the first version of the website should be really simple. Only one page, no database, cool design, and I think that's it. And then let's just go, can you help me make a super simple prompt? Now you could totally skip this step. You go straight to Replit and just put this exact thing in. I just like to basically conversate with ChatGPT and use it as just like a thinking partner, right? So is there anything that I'm forgetting here? Build a modern single page website for a local business called David's Pool Services located in Raleigh. The design should be clean and professional with a cool summer vibe. Think water, blue tones, poolside feel. I like that. Hero section, call us now button. About section, services offered. Contact section with phone number, email, simple contact form. Form doesn't need to be functional yet, just styled. That's important because in your V1, you probably don't want to build an entire form. It's actually easier to go to something like Jotform and grab their HTML and just put that HTML snippet into your site. That way it can be deployed as a static site. I'll show you what this means later. Don't worry if it seems too complicated, but I wouldn't recommend trying to make a functional form in your first V1. I would just try to have a form there just so you can send it over there and they can look at it. I like this a lot. So let's go ahead and just take this over to Replit, put this in here. Here's the basic info to know, and then let's give it their address, and then let's give it the phone number, and then let's give it the email. And then lastly, because he has these before and after photos, like might as well use them. So let's go ahead and copy image. We can place this image, just go ahead and paste it there and use the photo I'm giving you on the main part of the site. Now, honestly, this is probably overkill. We probably don't need all this stuff. We can just say, hey, make this like super simple website. Actually, I'm going to take out use basic HTML and CSS. It should know that. Mobile friendly, no database or backend logic needed. Bonus if you use a nice font and include smooth scrolling between sections. I like this. It's probably overkill, but you can use this same exact script if you want. And I'll go ahead and put it in a doc and in the description so you can get access to this as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and click Start Building. Okay, so app plan, build the initial prototype. Would you like any of these additional features? Add a photo gallery, implement functional contact form, add testimonial section, create a blog section. I'm gonna say no to all these. Now, normally I might say add testimonial section, but again, we just want this to be super basic. We don't want Replit to run into any hiccups to begin with, and we can always add that afterwards. So let's go ahead and click Approve Plan and Start. And so right away, I mean, come on now. David's Pool Services, that logo is not bad. I actually really like it. Oh my gosh, and the photo and everything? Are you kidding? Holy. incredible. Get a free quote, call now, our pool services, pool cleaning, custom pool service plans, and is it going to use the photo? Now, sometimes I have issues with photos here. So look, it's having the issue with the photo here, but that's okay because we're just going to prompt it to fix that photo. It's funny, I told it not to create the testimonial section. It did anyway. That's all right. We're just going to give it a second to finish up here. Okay, so Replit just finished up here, and this thing is looking clean. I mean, it even added the non-functionable contact us form, and I mean, all this just looks so good. But as you probably noticed here, this image that I fed it is not working, and this is a pretty common error that I run into with Replit. So one of the easiest ways I've found to fix this is just to take a screenshot and just talk with it. Just say, everything looks good, but the image I gave you is showing an error. Please fix. And then just let it run there. So it'll try a few different things. If you don't like the colors, now one of the weird things is like this color or that blue is different from this blue, but I guess that plays in with his logo and the two different blues there. But if you wanted to change those blues, you could always go out and tell it to change those blues, or if you want to change the screen here. But I overall really like the look of this site. I'm going to leave everything as it is. And again, you don't want to spend, 4 hours on this thing and then send it to him and he's like, no thanks. You can pump a bunch of these out and send them over. And that's just going to increase your likelihood of actually getting a customer. Okay. And as you can see, it just updated again and it's still broken here. And if you want to look at it in a new tab, so what this website would actually look like in a browser, you can hit new tab and here's the website. So it looks really clean. Now it's still missing this image there. So we can go back, but this all looks really good. And then we can go ahead and hit inspect. And then let's change it to mobile. And this is what it will look like on mobile. So it has the menu there. Incredible. We're like 5 minutes in. Come on now. Okay, let's try this one more time. So let's go ahead and give it another screenshot. Okay, so it says, I'll fix the broken image. In the gallery, looking at the screenshot, I can see that the first image is indeed not loading properly. Let's also update the hero component. No, please don't. Placed your uploaded image. Okay, still broken here. And it got rid of that. So let's go ahead and roll back here. And this is good to see because these things happen. Sometimes you ask it to fix one thing and it tries to fix something else and completely breaks it. Having the rollback function is pretty great here. So I've finished reverting all of those. What should I do differently this time? Only fix the broken image in the what we do section. Don't touch the image in the header. Let's see what it does here. I'll only fix the broken image now. Let's look at the current code. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it fixed the website and we now have our custom image there. Now it doesn't look great there, but it's their image. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I think this website 100% looks sellable. I mean, it even did things like service areas. We proudly service all these areas. I didn't give it any of that. It's automatically doing that. We could even say, link to Facebook here, although that's not important when we're sending this over. You just want to show it to them. They can click on call us now. That's automatically actually going to call their cell phone. If they click on get a free quote, takes them down to the contact us form. Okay, so I'm going to click on new tab. Now we can see what this looks like in a browser. There's the image. Everything is all in well. Now let's actually deploy this. So I got a lot of questions on, okay, I built it, but how do I actually send it to the business owner here? This is what you're going to do. So this button right here, you're going to click on deploy and let's go ahead and click on this back arrow. Now you can choose any of these deployment options, but I like to click on static pages. Now these are just simple HTML websites, but they're extremely cheap. So they won't have dynamic things like building a custom intake form or contact us form, but that's okay because this is super simple. We just want this to be a very cheap static page. So let's go ahead and set up our deployment. Secret keys. Now from here, you'll just hit deploy. And I'm not shocked, but we ran into a build error. So what we can do here, don't panic, don't worry. All we're gonna do is use the debug with assistant tool here. So it's going to go through and find out why it's not deploying, what the issue is, and it's going to help us out. So try deploying again from the deployment tab. So looking at your deployment logs, I see the static deployment is failing because it can't find the index.html file. Let's update the deployment configuration. Do you need to know what any of that means? Absolutely not. You just click apply. Now that's fixed. Let's go ahead and try to redeploy. And there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. So this is our domain. It's going to be a replit.app domain. And we are live on this domain. So if you typed in this domain on your own computer, this would be live on the internet. From here, you could just go ahead and send this direct link to them, right? Pool/design. And this is okay. They can click on this link and they can go through and say, hey, this is awesome. You don't need to go any further than this. But I know a lot of people are asking, well, how do I actually put it on their domain? Or how do I put it on a domain to send them? So let's walk through that here. I'm going to pull up Namecheap. You can use whatever domain register you want. I prefer Namecheap. And for this, I'm going to look for a domain that I can potentially reuse. So if I'm going after a bunch of pool cleaners in Raleigh, maybe I want to get one domain that I can host all of these different websites when I send it over so it looks super clean. And then I can transfer it to the next website when that business owner buys it or doesn't. So I'm going to say Raleigh pool cleaning. Let's see here. Now, if you really wanted to, you could say, David's pool cleaning and just buy the domain for him. If we look on his site, he doesn't have a domain. So David's Pool Services, you could just buy that domain. Let's look. David's Pool Cleaning. So you could even just buy that website for him and say, hey, look, I bought the domain for you as well. I own your domain. It's on your website. Just send me your credit card information and let's go. I'm going to go ahead and buy the Raleigh one because maybe I can use it later. Maybe someone else can use it. If you want RaleighPoolCleaning.com, comment or send me a DM and I'll set you up with it because I'm not going to use this, but I think there's something you could do with this domain. So let's go ahead and add this to cart. Check out domain privacy. Don't worry about any of this stuff. You just want 1 year. Don't auto renew it unless you want to. Let's go ahead and confirm order. And just like that, my friends, we are now the proud owners of RaleighPoolCleaning.com. Now I'm going to go over to my dashboard, and what you're going to want to find here is your advanced DNS settings. So we're going to go back to Replit and we're going to click on settings, and then we're going to click on domains and we're going to link a domain. So we're going to do RaleighPoolCleaning.com, click on next. And now it gives us the exact instructions that we're going to use to point this domain to this website. So we can go ahead and copy that record. We're going to go back to Namecheap. We're going to do new record, a record, at, IP address, check, save changes. Okay, now let's go back to Replit, a TXT, and record. Let's copy that. Okay, so you're going to add a record, TXT record, at, and then drop that value in. Save changes, and that's all she wrote. That's it. So now we'll go back to Replit, link domain, and it's verifying. So it might take a little while. Don't get worried if it takes 30 minutes or an hour. It does take a little while to actually verify and start working. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about pricing because that's been a hot topic. So if I'm running a business like this, I want recurring revenue. I want to get paid next month and the following month and a year from now for the sale that I made today. So that's why I want to charge a management fee or a hosting fee. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to these businesses and you can sell them on a setup fee. So something like $100 to $200, maybe even $500 for the setup fee to actually build their website fully custom, all their information. Maybe you add an About Us section, maybe take photos of them if they're local, but you're going to charge an initial setup fee of a couple $100s to actually kick things off. Now, because they actually need something to host the website and you're going to be hosting it on Replit here, unless you choose to move it to something else, you can charge a recurring hosting fee, something like $20, $30 a month. And you could also add in a management fee there. So you could say, hey, for $50 a month, we will host your website and we'll also give you 3 changes to your website a month. So if you want to add another About Us section, if you want to add new blog posts, we'll do all the management of your website for $50, $100 a month. And then you have recurring revenue. And then once you have, 5 customers or you have 10 customers, this starts getting really interesting because you have a legit recurring revenue business on top of getting new clients to pay you that initial onboarding fee. And lastly, I will say, if you don't want to actually take care of the hosting yourself, you could just use an affiliate fee. So there are a bunch of affiliate websites out there that will pay you an initial fee or a recurring monthly fee to send them a customer. You could always do that, but I like the idea of actually getting the money from them directly and then paying one of these hosting platforms like Replit, like you can do just right here, and then you keep that margin. And this is super simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Go sign up for a Stripe account or a PayPal account and just send them an invoice. Could even do Venmo or Cash App. Really doesn't matter. Just send them a payment link so that they can pay. And as a grand finale to this video, it's only right to show you that RaleighPoolCleaning.com is officially verified and it is live. So you can go check this out if you want, RaleighPoolCleaning.com. I could go ahead and send this over to David right now and say, hey, I never heard back from you, but I went ahead and built it and here it is. What do you think? So that's all for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, I appreciate you and peace.